This is Armed American Radio. We are your voice. Join the blog discussion at armedamericanradio.com or on Facebook at Armed American Radio. Here again, Mark Walters.
I don't understand why. I know that's a Led Zeppelin song. And I don't understand why we're running the cover band of Led Zeppelin instead of just running Led Zeppelin. I mean, it's Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
You know, they were like the Kings.
Yes.
Back in the day. So why are just one of those things, right? Who'd you say that was? Panera Bread or something?
No, I forgot who that was.
Pantera? You said Pantera?
No,
Panera Bread
not,
or something?
no.
What do I know?
Cowboys,
Okay.
That's Cowboys from Hell. That
right.
hasn't rotated through yet.
Get this. Next week, the show's they're just huge. It's just going to be huge.
Is Led Zeppelin coming?
No, Led Zeppelin's not
you
coming
were just
there.
talking about.
No.
Okay.
They need wheelchairs to get around their castles.
Oh, that's just so.
But that's okay. The Well-Armed Woman. Love that, right?
Yes.
Jim Irvine, have you heard of The Well-Armed Woman?
Oh, he fell off.
Did we lose him again?
Yeah.
That's okay. If he calls back, we'll ask him that question. But Joni Gomo from The Well-Armed Woman will be here in the studio with me next week. And this is an organization that was founded by a Carrie Lightfoot out in Arizona, the great free state of Arizona. And one of the owners of my local gun shops contacted me this week, and Joni runs her organization, the Well-Armed Woman, the chapter here, one of this Georgia chapter, one of 3 Georgia chapters over there at the gun shop, and it's packed. It's packed. So Joni and I have begun corresponding, and she'll be here in the studio with me next week, and we'll discuss everything they're doing across the country at the Well-Armed Woman. So if you're, we get those emails all the time. You need to talk more about women in firearms, women in firearms. We're going to do that next week. That will be an awful lot of fun. So make sure you tune in to check out Joni Gomo next week here. And hopefully we can get Carrie from the founder out in Arizona on with us as well. That'll be a blast. Connecticut. Man, oh man, it pains me to see what's going on in Connecticut. I graduated high school up there. I have a lot of friends up there, and every single one of them are ticked. Not one of them has called me and said, hey, I love what's going on up here. Not one. Even a couple liberal friends of mine have called and said that. Because they know fascism and grabs and power grabs in the middle of the night. And they know what's constitutional and unconstitutional.
It's a shame we don't.
Well, we're going to find out what's going on right now. We have Rich Burgess on the line. Rich is from Connecticut, Cary. Rich, welcome back to Armed American Radio, my friend. I'm sorry we're having to have this discussion, but I want the lowdown and the dirt from you as to what's going on. And Jim Irvine is with us. Jim, you can jump in and listen to the conversation. We'll get some commentary from you. Rich, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mark. Hi, Jim. Hey, good to be here.
Rich, talk to us. Middle of the night power grab. I'm seeing resemblance of what happened in New York State. Clue listeners in across the country as to what's going on up there.
Sure, absolutely. It's April 1st. We were all hoping it was a big joke, but April 1st they proposed their new. It turned out to be a 138-page bill. Basically, it's a big gun ban. It goes way beyond the realms of anything logical or reasonable, but it's what's to be expected from this movement. And by April 4th, we had the bill voted on and signed by the governor.
In less than a week.
No public hearings.
No public hearings whatsoever. Listen, okay. Let me compose myself. I have an email here. This might be a fitting time to read this email. Sean, I read this during the break. Mm-hmm. Let me read this. This is from a gentleman by the name of Ken Kaplan. Mark, yes, you can, buddy. Yes, you can say those things regarding liberals. Drop some B-17-styled percussion and incendiary bombs on the blanks. Love the show, Kenny.
I'm actually reading an email from him as we speak.
Okay, it's good stuff. Thanks for the email, Kenny. Appreciate it. We're with you. Rich, it's very important people understand exactly what happened in Connecticut. Please give us the particulars of the quote-unquote gun grab regarding the ammunition problems that you now face, regarding the magazines, and regarding the additional 100 firearms plus that are now illegal. Can you fill us in, please?
Well, our assault weapons ban has been expanded. That's probably the biggest real kick in the teeth here. The weapons ban has been expanded to, like you said, include 100 more different types, but the big problem is that they've gone back and instead of a particular AR-15 platform, they are going after everything that could possibly be a clone, duplicate, copy of an AR-15. So everything, AR-10s, AR-15s, every possible size and shape of an AR-15, they've banned that.
Now, what was the ban previous to April 1st? What did it include?
The ban previously included specific models and types of AR-15s, and the most egregious was the feature ban on the AR-15. So just like the federal assault weapons ban, we had things like flash suppressors and collapsible stocks, bayonet lugs, silly things like that.
All of those things that mattered to the Newtown massacre.
Right, exactly.
All right.
The things that would have stopped a maniacal madman from killing his own mother and murdering children.
Shooting her in the face multiple times. Let me ask you this. Can you answer for listeners, because we know he used a Bushmaster XM15, correct?
Correct.
That's an AR-15 platform, of course. Can you tell us, because what was that not banned prior to?
That particular model was not banned as long as it was Connecticut compliant, which, obviously had the feature bans that we're all so accustomed to.
Okay. So if it had the feature ban, what are one of the features? A pistol grip?
Well, yeah, they listed 3 features, and, they had a pistol grip, a detachable magazine, flash suppressor, collapsible stock. I mean, we've all had to deal with all that stuff, pinning collapsible stocks, and welding on muzzle brakes and things like that. And now it's basically just completely all AR-15s, all AK-47 types. Everything that they could think of is under there, except I conveniently noticed the other day that they didn't ban the Mini-14, which, makes absolutely no sense to me, because I'll be damned if I can figure out what the difference is between an AR-15 and a Mini-14. All
right. Grandfathering. What provisions are there for grandfathering for those who own those guns now in Connecticut?
Well, basically, they like to call it grandfathering and act like they're benevolent about it, but it's an attempt to lock it into this current generation and make no provisions for the future.
So what I refer to as generational confiscation is in full swing, isn't it?
Absolutely. And they did throw in little tidbits about if your magazines and your firearms are registered with the state, then you may bequeath them to other people, but I mean, the provisions of such are terrible. You can see the logical end to this not being anybody ever getting another magazine. And besides that, they're putting everybody on the honor system, apparently, of only carrying 10 rounds in those high-capacity magazines that they want to define as such.
All right, let's go to the magazines now. Of course, the magazines in Connecticut are having to be what? Registered, aren't they?
Correct. We're still not really sure of how they're going to register a part of a firearm that's a box with a spring in it that has no serial number. It's certainly, most magazines don't have a date of manufacture on them. It's a mystery. Again, I believe it's going to be apparently on the honor system. And even if you register those magazines, if you carry them in a pistol or rifle, you can only carry 10 rounds in it. But you don't have to make them permanently inoperable to be above 10 rounds. So I fail to see how this would ever stop a mass murderer.
Well, this certainly would have stopped the Newtown massacre, wouldn't it? I mean, if her gun were on the banned list, the bayonet, if her gun didn't have the bayonet lug on it, wouldn't that have stopped the killer?
Well, surprisingly, they actually took the bayonet lug off the feature list, from what I saw.
Oh.
So, I guess they reversed that. I guess bayonets no longer kill people.
All right. This is ridiculous. Jim Irvine, you want to jump in here with me, please? We've only got a couple minutes before we go to break, and then we'll come back, and I want to open up the floor to everybody to discuss what's going on up there. Jim, welcome back. What are your thoughts on this?
It's just so sad to see people that are clearly just pushing a political agenda in the wake of a tragedy.
All right, stop right there. Stop right there, because you're right about that. When we come back, I want to expand on that. And, Rich, I want to get your opinion on that because you're there. And then I want to talk with you about the just absolutely ludicrous ammunition parts of the bill. It's just insane. It's hard to even talk about. Armed American Radio. We'll be right back. Okay, now we're going to talk about how you can get prepared to defend yourself and your family in a worst-case scenario. All of you know I'm a huge fan of Rob Pincus and his work with the Personal Defense Network. Well, the Personal Defense Network has assembled a series of revolutionary handgun training videos designed to make you more efficient with a defensive firearm in the context of a dynamic critical incident. This training course, which is only $39.95, offers more than 3 solid hours of powerful, practical, and proven techniques that will increase your speed and efficiency. Some of the topics covered include things like the balance between speed and precision, one-handed and weak-handed reloads, and of course, shooting around a corner. So to get a copy of this one-of-a-kind training course and to help support Armed American Radio, visit ArmedAmericanDVDoffer.com. Once you order, you'll get the 3-DVD training course for only $39.95 plus shipping and handling. This is a great deal. Check it out. Again, go to ArmedAmericanDVDoffer.com and get your copy today.
Ever wish you could find a concealed carry holster that allows wearing the clothing of your choice with absolutely no restrictions on body movements? A concealed carry holster that provides such deep concealment that no one will know you're carrying unless you tell them. The world-famous Smart Carry holster does just that while providing complete invisibility, total comfort, and freedom of movement even when carrying a full-size handgun. Make your gun disappear in total comfort today. Visit smartcarry.com now.
Finally, ladies and gentlemen, a .22 Magnum pistol with a 30-round capacity magazine. You heard me right. The Caltech Pmr 30 is a lightweight, full-size pistol chambered in .22 Magnum with a double-stack magazine. With a crisp single-action pole and fiber optic sights, the Caltech Pmr 30 is perfect for small game or target shooting. To see it for yourself, visit caltechweapons.com. That's caltechweapons.com, K-E-L-T-E-C, weapons.com.
One of the few guns that fits comfortably in your pocket, the North American Arms Guardian 32 ACP is the perfect combination of small size, high quality, and great stopping power. Convenient, reliable, and very effective. North American Arms stands behind the Guardian 32 ACP with a lifetime warranty. With standard capacity of 6+1 rounds in a pistol less than 4 inches in length, the Guardian ACP ships with 2 magazines and offers an optional 10-round capacity extended magazine. For more information, visit NorthAmericanArms.com. That's NorthAmericanArms.com.
The Ruger 1022 Takedown, a new take on the legendary Ruger 1022. With all of the features and functionality of America's favorite rimfire rifle, the Ruger 1022 Takedown easily separates for convenient storage and transportation. Reassembly is simple and returns the rifle to zero, ensuring precision shot after shot. Packed in a backpack-style bag included with the rifle, the Ruger 1022 Takedown makes it easy to keep America's favorite rimfire by your side.
Armed American Radio has joined forces with Gander Mountain and Gander Mountain Academy Firearms Training Centers. Gander Mountain is America's largest retail network of outdoor supply stores and one of the nation's largest retailers of firearms and shooting supplies. Staffed with world-class instructors, virtual shooting ranges, indoor live fire ranges, and 180 and 300-degree simulators, Gander Mountain Academy provides the ultimate firearms training experience. For a list of locations, visit gandermountain.com/academy now.
Galco's patented new V-Hawk tuckable inside the waistband holster reaches unheard of heights in comfort, speed, stability, and versatility. Constructed of premium steer hide, the V-Hawk comes complete with leather belt loops and tuckable injection molded hooks. The open-top design offers both speed and ease of draw, and the reinforced mouth offers one-handed return to the holster. Buy the V-Hawk from Galco at GalcoGunleather.com today. That's GalcoGunleather.com.
With loyal followers coast to coast, we are your voice. This is Armed American Radio. Here again, Mark Walters.
Saw him standing there by the record machine. Hanging on his back was an AR-15. We need to rewrite those lyrics.
I have to admit, that's pretty good there, dog. You did that freestyle.
I did do that freestyle. I got a suggestion today on the Facebook page. We're going to go to the Facebook page in a little while. I want to read a couple. We're talking about the Gander Mountain.
Yes.
And, secure and safe responsibility. Gander will be here later in the show to talk with us for a segment about what they're doing. And they're sponsoring of the number 15 Clint Boyer car and the message that they're putting out, along with the USCCA and Armed American Radio and Clint Boyer okay, and Michael Waltrip Racing. And you wouldn't believe some of the comments you get on the
Well,
I'll never buy from them again. They're just trying to it's unbelievable.
Oh, man.
People's logic is just insane. But we got another comment from someone on that same post that says, hey, you and Sean love listening to the show. You and Sean are always talking about the off-air conversations during the breaks. You guys need to put those on a disc and include them as a podcast bonus. I thought, man, that's a great idea.
Yeah, well, let's see.
See, well,
I don't know about that.
we can't do that to you folks that live in California and New York, and we might offend you, you know. Hey, head over to pennygunauctions.com. Check this out. The bid is up to $12.69, and the bid doesn't even begin for another 49 minutes.
What's the
choice of three?
Ooh,
choice of three: a Sig Zombie 1911, or a CZ 75B, or a DPMS AR-15. You know, the gun your mom loves to hate, right?
Oh man!
If she's a governor and a Democrat.
Well, now, hold on now. My mother's a Democrat. Believe me, she is pro-gun all the way.
Okay. Well, she's not a governor.
Well, that's true.
And and all you Walking Dead viewers, I'm with you.
Okay, I'm lost.
Welcome back to Armed American Radio now that the season is over, okay? Let's go back to Rich Burgess in Connecticut. Rich Burgess, I can hear the utter disgust in your voice when I'm talking to you, and believe me, my friend, my heart goes out to you. I can only imagine how angry you are and what it felt like to watch your governor sign those bills, because it hurt me, it pained me to watch it. I have ties back to that state, and I have liberal friends up there who were just as disgusted as you were, and they're not gun owners, but they understand freedom. I mean, they get it.
Disgusting, Mark.
Okay, let me ask you this. First, let's stay on topic here, and then I want to get your personal opinions about this. We discussed the magazine ban. You have to register the magazines, or you have to get rid of them. Is that right? Or is it a felony to own the magazine if you fail to tell them you have it?
Well, you're only allowed to buy them until April 4th, which obviously has already passed. That was the day the governor signed the bill. It went into effect immediately. So there's no sales or transfers anymore at all of anything large capacity, which they define as more than 10 rounds.
Okay, which we define as standard capacity. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And January 1st, now we have to, by that date, you have to register those magazines that you already have. And if you don't, then they become illegal after that, and you have to get rid of them. Okay.
Now, is it a misdemeanor, a felony to own them?
Well, it's looking right now like it's a felony, except they offer you one, I guess, get-out-of-jail-free card.
A mulligan. They're offering a mulligan. Well, gee, thanks a lot. Thanks for that.
Well, clearly they anticipate that they're going to ensnare a lot of good people in this, right? And they've also given a special accelerated rehab type of program to try to, if you did it in good faith, if you made an error in good faith, then they're going to allow you 2 years of probation and dismiss the charges.
Are you listening to this, ladies and gentlemen? Are you listening to how they have demonized you and criminalized you? Good, law-abiding citizens now facing felonies for owning what you had on April 3rd lawfully.
Yep. I can tell you before 4/4, I had a 15-round magazine, and I was a completely normal person, Glock 22. And on 4/4, all of a sudden, now I'm a felon.
You know, there's a part of me right now that wants to call publicly for civil disobedience on this. It's that disgusting to me what's happening there, but I won't go that far yet.
Don't think they won't put us in jail, though. I mean, we have the main proponents of this bill were the Connecticut State Police, and they're ready to enforce it, and they're just waiting. They're itching.
Oh, they're itching for it too. Sure they are. Yeah, Sean, you want to say something quickly?
You said that the state police are itching to do this.
We don't have sheriffs here.
Oh, wow.
This is a state that had got rid of sheriffs because they felt it was not, I guess, becoming of the state or too corrupt, and so now we have no sheriffs, and they're all politically appointed.
Who runs your state? What party?
Well, right now we have a majority Democrat. About a 2/3 majority.
2/3 majority. Super majority.
You know, we saw Republicans sell us out this time around too.
Sure you did. You absolutely did. There's no question about it. The political machine in Connecticut is clearly left. And Rich, Listen, this is why the rest of America doesn't want Northeast politicians. This is why the rest of America doesn't trust Northeastern politicians. Jim Irvine, jump in here with me quickly. You've been listening to this conversation, and I want to take it one step further because now in ammunition purchases in Connecticut, Rich, Jim, listen to this. This will flip your wig. Rich, tell us what you have to go through now to buy a box of ammo. 22 to plink. What's the word?
Well, if you don't have a pistol permit, a permit to carry a firearm, or a certificate of eligibility, which is not to carry but just to buy a pistol, you need something to buy a pistol, and you always have. If you don't have that, then you need a long gun eligibility certificate, which is new. And then they also created an ammunition eligibility certificate. So we have an abundance of permits and eligibility certificates.
Do you have to pay for that permit?
Absolutely, $35 a year, $35 for 5 years.
Imagine that. Jim, jump in here, please.
All of this money and all of this effort being put to something that you guarantee cannot solve the problem that you're concerned about. I mean, Absolutely. You guys have talked about all sorts of stuff, but nothing that will stop someone inside your school who just shot through a window, stepped inside, and is walking down the hallway to go kill 26 educators and 20 little children.
Rich, I'm assuming now. Rich Burgess, I'm assuming. Rich Burgess from Connecticut, Cary. Rich Burgess, I'm assuming now that there will be no more gun crime in Connecticut after this.
Yes, I'm sure the rivers of blood will stop.
The rivers of blood that you've been crossing over in your Jeep. Yeah, you need a Jeep in Connecticut. The rivers of blood have been so bad. Do you happen to have, and I hate to put you on the spot here on national radio, on live radio, but do you happen to have any stats about percentages of murders that were committed with rifles in Connecticut?
No, but I'm sure they match the national average. I mean, you never hear about that here.
Well, there were more hammers used, according to the FBI last year, than there were rifles.
Absolutely.
Of any kind, not just to mention an AR-15 that they love to hate. Jim, again, I want to get your prediction. I hate to ask you for a prediction, but I'm going to. Predictions of what's going to happen now that these bills have been signed by this Democrat, gun-hating, freedom-hating governor.
Well, I don't know. I think a lot of people are thinking like you are on the civil disobedience. I mean, Rosa Parks is a hero, not because she followed the law, because she said no to a stupid law.
All right, Jim, hold the phone with us if you could. Rich, I want to thank you very much for coming on Armed American Radio. Man, it goes out to I want to stay in contact with you, and we'll do what we can. You have access to this microphone to keep us abreast of what's happening in Connecticut. Thank you very much for jumping on the air with us today. Sean, it's mind-boggling what's happening. Next, we're going to shift over to Colorado and find out about the recall effort that's building steam out there in the great Golden State in Colorado. This is about the time I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I love to do this. Carry on, carry often, and carry absolutely everywhere. Never leave your cave without your club. No self-respecting caveman would ever get caught outside without his club. Back after this.
You've been listening to Armed American Radio Network with your host, Mark Walters. Armed American Radio, brought to you each week by the United States Concealed Carry Association. To learn more about Armed American Radio, log on to armedamericanradio.org.